Hey everyone, I hope you're doing well. Today we have some Ultra League footage from Here for Referral. Something really cool from Referral is that they actually showed a screenshot of all the IVs of their Pokemon they're using, just to show that you don't need the best of the best IVs for GBL or for PvP to make things work. And I think that's a really great idea. That's personally why I never put IVs in my videos for my personal Pokemon. I will say, obviously, if it's important or not for specific situations, but for the most part, just use the best you have, right? Obviously, I'm personally a little more stingy for XL Pokemon for IVs, but I think there's plenty of people that can still make that work pretty well. So yeah, let's get into this critique corner and see what this team looks like. Before we get into the battles, a big shout out and thank you to all my patrons who've been supporting my content creation. If you would also like to have early access to my strategies and lineups, or see behind the scenes footage of my battles, feel free to sign up in the Patreon link down below. We have Registeel, Giratina, and Virizion. So 98% Registeel, so lucky as well. And then not the greatest, pretty much just raid IVs for the other two. Let's take a look and see how well Referral does in these battles and what it looks like. Overall, pretty bulky team, very strong overall. I like it because you have a lot of checks for Swampert and other fighters, which is really what Virizion is in the back for. Now, Talonflame, this thing's actually kind of annoying for this team, but you just let these moves go. They have to shield, and that puts you in a good spot. My guess is Virizion's probably running Stone Edge. I mean, it's possible that they're running the Leaf Blade, but Stone Edge just gives you way better coverage against these flying fire Pokemon. I like this shield, the second one, where it does a little bit more damage. I wasn't sure if a debuff came through. I mean, if a debuff didn't come through, then definitely makes the right choice. And if a debuff did come through, then obviously it cancels out anyway. But it's always good to let the first one go through. Alright, they throw a Brave Bird and putting everything on the back-end matchup of this Virizion. I actually really like this play because, yeah, that's your hardest counter to Virizion, which means that Virizion typically has a lot of play in the back. And here we go, actually, actually running the Leaf Blade to Sacred Sword combo instead of Stone Edge. ABA Flying Fire, kind of weird. I think overall, Referral did well there. Me personally, I would run the Stone Edge for coverage, right? Leaf Blade, yes, is very good in Swampert, but Swampert's not going to win with if you're running Sacred Sword. Tapu Fini, like, you're fine with Giratina. You're fine with Registeel into that, right? So you don't need that additional Leaf Blade coverage. Lantern, not the biggest threat to the whole team either. So really, I personally think it's better to run Stone Edge, but let's see how the Leaf Blade goes for Referral for the rest of these battles. But yeah, because Stone Edge there, you just win, right? You just take out the Charizard with Stone Edge, and then you just take out the Walrein with the Sacred Sword. Alright, Toxicroak. Yeah, so not a great matchup for sure, because you don't really want the Virizion on it, so you just stay in with the Registeel. It ends up being CMP, which is totally fine, because they're going to be debuffed right away. Actually coming in with the Giratina now. Okay. Okay. Obstagoon as well. Interesting. This is quite the interesting team. Alright, going for the potential boost. Not able to get it. Maybe just go for the Dragon Claw afterward. I mean, I don't know. I mean, go for the boost here still. It's not that bad of a situation because you're not going to win this matchup anyway with Shadow Claw. So maybe just fishing for a boost is not the end of the world. Going for a potential CMP situation. I don't know. I think Giratina is pretty bulky, so typically you will lose CMP. But you do force them to throw, and then you get that Dragon Claw off. Oh, get off one more. Okay. Maybe going straight Dragon Claw was the play. All right. So getting off the Dragon Claw, and then this Virizion is going to town. I like this play. Obviously, no shield. Oh, it ends up being Obstruct. Okay. And then throwing the Leaf Blade. I think Sacred Sword might be a little better. I don't know. I got to look at the DPE after this. Yeah, not optimizing, but I like that because you don't really want to optimize in a bad matchup. Oh, they still had another shield. Okay, maybe you want to optimize that if they had another shield there. I thought that was their last shield. Okay, they go for the Sludge Bomb. Didn't optimize there. I think you probably could optimize on that one because they're not going to get to another move. Let's see what they come in with. All right, so it ends up being a Registeel. Is going to be optimized on this one. Obviously, it's also right when you get the Sacred Sword. And then, yeah, so Registeel is going to come in and finish. While this is happening, let me look up the optimization while I'm at it. I'm pretty, or sorry, not the optimization, the energy efficiency. I'm pretty sure that Leaf Blade is not as good as Sacred Sword, but maybe I'm wrong. Leaf Blade is actually a pretty good move. Leaf Blade, 2 DPE, Sacred Sword. Oh yeah, no, Leaf Blade is better. That's my bad. Okay, well, good to know. So Leaf Blade when both are resisted, or when both are neutral. All right. In this situation, we have. Sorry, let me go back to that last matchup because I actually did kind of miss the ending. All right. Yeah, ends up getting taken out by the Earthquake there. I think the difference here is not able to get to one more Sacred Sword, right? I think if you're optimizing against a Toxicroak, then you're going to get a little bit more energy and you're able to take out the Wolverine before it gets to an Icicle Spirit farms you down. All right, let's see. Another obstacle lead is interesting. I think you just stay in this situation. Yeah, you just no shield everything. Typically speaking, I think obstacle has to really overshield quite a bit to get some value. It's not a bad idea to go straight Focus Blast. Okay, swapping to the Guillotine. I personally, so I don't like this play too much, right? I think you have the chance to grab both shields or force them to throw, but you just don't really get much value, and like you can't really flip switch, right? I think like coming in with something like, I don't know, like a maybe Jellicent maybe is possible, but personally speaking, like you don't want to swap to your worst matchup because they're not locked in, right? If they're locked in, that's a different story, right? You throw a move and then do it. But okay, so they come in with a Clefable. I'm actually kind of shocked that they didn't come in with Clefable a little bit earlier. Kind of a misplay by the opponent, but that's fine. So now they're completely misaligned. So this I like a lot from Referral because coming in now, their switch timers are misaligned. You have the chance, the opportunity to take out this Clefable. My guess is they probably have another Fairy in the back, Obstacle and Double Fairy, which would be really tough for this team. I personally wouldn't undercharge. Main reason being, if you could pivot out, then they could pivot out, right? So now you still have to take out that Clefable. So I think uncharged there might be okay in other situations, but because they could pivot out after that, maybe it's not the most ideal situation. However, because they pivot out, if they do have another Fairy in the back, you're going to come away with a bunch of energy. I probably would shield this. Main reason being, they probably have a Charmer. So you want to have to shield this so you have enough health to get off the moves you need to, right? So let's see what they come in with. This Low Ninetales maybe? With Charmer Low Ninetales? Probably Clefable comes in first. Oh, that's actually just Venusaur. Interesting. Yeah, so in this situation, Sacred Sword is better because it's not double resistant, but I think Referral just threw that blindly, expecting the Clefable, which is fine. Alright. So, yeah, going for the Dragon Claw. This is going to be a little bit more energy efficient, so it's going to start spamming away. The scary part is this Venus was getting a lot of energy. Okay, so they do finally spend a shield. They have to throw. I personally wouldn't shield this because he just get taken out by the Venusaur. Okay, the shield does come up. Maybe you outpace if they don't. Oh, okay, the combo play. Okay, so in this situation, you definitely want to throw a Sacred Sword because the Grass and Poison is going to double resist the Leaf Blade, whereas Sacred Sword is only single resist by Poison. So in this situation, even though Leaf Blade is more energy efficient, it's actually not enough. But able to get the timeout victory though, so a good call on the combo play. I do like that. I personally wasn't keeping track of the timer as well, but Referral did make a right call by shielding in that situation to get off that move and burn the switch timer and get the combo play off. All right, this is fine. You could probably throw a Zap Cannon first and then swap over. Might not be a bad play, just because you can force the shields. I guess they might not shield, so that's probably fine, because then you don't misalign your timers too much. I mean, if you have Leaf Blade in this situation, this is obviously a big pickup with Leaf Blade, so for this specific reason, Leaf Blade is actually much more viable in this specific matchup. Alright, so good optimization there. Throwing the Sacred Sword, which obviously is going to be neutral. Definitely the move set of choice. My guess is they probably hard counter whatever's in the back. But let's see. They're going to throw a move. Ends up being Brave Bird. That's fine. Nice. Alright, yeah, so pretty much hard countered. Honestly, if I was like Cobalion, I probably wouldn't quit right away. Because as you can see, that move set, you resist all the charge moves. So you actually, I think you win that with Cobalion. So yeah, again, people quitting a little bit early, but it is a tougher matchup for the opponent for sure on the back end still with that Registeel. All right, But I think that one technically was quite winnable by the opponent. All right, they come in and throw Ancient Power at the Registeel. He just no shield. Throw the Zap Cannon. Wait, I forgot what the lead was. What was the lead in that one? Sorry, I missed it. Oh, low Ninetales. Yeah, right. Okay, so that's a good swap there. If I were to guess, it's probably like a Scrafty or something, or a fighter in the back. So this is lining up to be very, very good for referral. And then now comes the lone Ninetales. This is fine. You want to throw this to burn the timer a little bit and then pivot back over to Registeel when you can. At this point, you might as well just let it go so you're not completely locked in. Yeah, that's fine. Getting off that final Dragon Claw worth the energy is fine. I personally would just go Focus Blast. It's unlikely they shield, so don't go for the higher energy move. You can overfarm for sure, but the odds of them shielding this is very, very low, right? And you're going to undercharge, so I don't know. Like this is a good matchup, but again, you don't want to undercharge if you just need to take something out, right? You don't want them to have something in the back for a potential sack. But that being said, you're in a fantastic situation right now. They're completely locked in. I mean, you could potentially shield the first one in case they have Sludge Wave. Yeah, I don't hate that play. Because if you get hit by Sludge Wave, it's pretty much over. Especially from Shadow Swamper. I don't think it one-shots, but it does put you quite low. You can probably let the second one go. Yeah. Alright. This is going to be a very good optimization opportunity. Alright. Fantastic. Yeah, so lead play is going to be pretty good here. But again, like Sacred Sword is plenty in that situation. Okay. Swapping over. Yeah, you just lock on down at this point. Again, like if they didn't have the Ninetales, right, they can't even make this play, right? I think a lot of people go for undercharge situations, but sometimes undercharging is not all it's made up to be. To be honest, like it is a very high skill tactic and thing you can execute with. But personally speaking, it also takes a lot of recognition to know when is the best time to undercharge versus when it's not to. All right. We're going into this next battle. I think we're in the veteran rank too. I didn't check the elo until now actually, but it's a pretty good lead. Honestly, you win this pretty handily, and the opponent is staying in. They went straight Surf for whatever reason. Yeah, it's really good for the Registeel in this situation. I probably, again, one of those situations where maybe you just go for the Focus Blast. Like they probably don't shield this. Farm up extra, right? Over farm. Okay, that's fine. They throw a move. Overfarm here and then throw the Focus Blast. Okay, that's fine. Maybe it's not enough. But again, like, okay, they end up shielding, right? So you do get a debuff. But the problem is you kind of still have the shield anyway. So if you just threw that lower energy move, you get to it a little bit sooner, right? So now you're going to throw the Focus Blast, which is fine. But again, right? Like, think about that way. You undercharge and you also throw a debuff move, right? So obviously shields, so undercharge doesn't make a huge difference. But they end up... They shield it and they throw a Surf, and even though the debuff, you still shield. So in that situation, if you think about it like that, then there's really no point in throwing a debuff move when you're going to shield the move, the resulting move either way if they shield, right? So I think in that situation, you just go for the Focus Blast right off the bat. Still have to get the Zap Cannon though, so that's pretty big. And then this is going to be huge because you force the final shield and then you come in with Giratina. Ooh, that's a little awkward. I would honestly go straight to Virizion at this point because you don't have any coverage moves, right? Like the longer you stay in, the more the switch timer is going to be misaligned. Obviously, they don't know you don't have Stone Edge, but they're about to find out once you throw the Sleep Blade, right? So, in all likelihood, they just take out the Virizion either way. But yeah, like if you swap into Virizion right away, you get maybe at least 2 Leap Blades, right? Now you're kind of forced to shield, which is a little awkward. Move wasn't optimized there, but yeah, okay, yeah. And so here comes Charizard. Timers are misaligned, so this is possible to happen. Leap Blade ends up being thrown, so it was a CMP swap, which is actually a little unfortunate. But I think Referral's still in a pretty good spot. The Ancient Power is going to take it out, and then yes, this Cresselia has a move, but you need at least 2 Moonblasts to take out this Giratina, and I don't think you get to it. No, not quite. Yeah, so not too bad. I think, certain things, even though when you win, there's still certain things you could probably clean up on, or every player, not just Referral, right? So just things that I'm trying to point out in these situations where even though you're winning. I think it's just like how, there's sometimes where when you lose, there's nothing you could have done better, and that's still a good thing to recognize. Same thing when you win, sometimes there's things you still could have done better despite the fact that you won, right? So those are always things you want to kind of learn from these situations. All right, going for the first potential boost, not getting it, and then going for the Dragon Claw. Ends up shielding. So that was what, a Shadow Gliscor lead? I probably wouldn't shield. Yeah, it's going to be a Shadow Ball, but the thing is, like, you don't really have anything that cleanly beats the Gliscor. So if you give it a shield advantage as well, it puts you in a really tough spot. So luckily, the opponent does shield back, and that's actually going to work better in Referral's favor, because the Gliscor, especially against the Virizion, is mostly threatening it with the fast moves, not the charge moves, right? So going for the double shield strategy, so maybe that is the play for Referral, is to just grab all the shields and then try to land Leaf Blades. But yes, shields down for Gliscor, and when you have Red Shield in the back, is a little uncomfortable. However, I think you can take out this Gliscor. I feel like they have a Swampert or something in the back, or maybe a Walrein. I don't know. It's going to be something that has play into the Red Seal is my guess. But all this entry on Gliscor is actually pretty solid for the Virizion, because you resist everything, right? Unless they're running Aerial Ace, which most people are not. They go Earthquake. It is resisted. Good optimization. Is going to take out this Gliscor. And then, oh, okay. All right, so in that situation, I probably stay in Virizion, right? You already know that the IVs are not ideal, which means that you probably win CMP against any opposing Cobalion or Virizion. Just throw one Sacred Sword. You don't want the Cobalion to come out with extra energy, because now you don't have a move and they could just save up a Sacred Sword for you and take you out after, right? So you want to throw your own Sacred Sword first. That also puts the Cobalion in Focus Blast range. If you'll see right here, this Focus Blast is not going to be enough. And because of that, they could farm a lot of energy off you, right? If you threw one Sacred Sword, then you just win. Instead, though, they're getting a full double kick down, and then here comes the Sacred Sword. I don't know if one's going to be enough, though. Not enough, but okay. So almost getting to 2 from the opponent's end. Again, just an unnecessary risk, in my opinion. You just throw one Sacred Sword at their Cobalion, swap, throw a Focus Blast, and you just win the match, right? Yeah, so sometimes, like the thing, like, they swap, I swap, right? It's not always the best gut reaction at times. Just something to be aware of. All right. This is pretty good of a situation. Yeah, you do have to watch out for potential Earthquake, but the opponent looks like they're trying to catch a Focus Blast, and it ends up not panning out so well. Coming in with the Giratina, I personally would come in with the Virizion, because the problem is this Giratina's moveset is going to do nothing against the Steelix, right? The Jellicent is already quite low. I mean, hopefully there's not going to be a shield coming up. Yeah, so no shield, which I think is the right call. But I think you just come in with the Virizion. The reason why you come in for Virizion is because now that Steelix has an uncomfortable matchup in the lead and in the counter swap. So they might even show their third Pokemon, or just bring in their Steelix to try to muscle through and just take a ton of damage, right? But in this situation, their Steelix now has play, right? Now their Steelix has some purpose behind it, because now it can just farm away and get a lot of energy against the Giratina. It wouldn't be able to do that against like a Virizion. So swapping back over to the Registeel, I don't hate this play. I actually think this is kind of a nice play. Shielding potential Earthquake. Because you have two things that handle the Steelix. So you're essentially pivoting back out to draw something else out. Maybe like an anti-fighter, anti-steel, maybe like a Swampert, right? So you want that Giratina on it. Swampert's not that great though into the first down. So maybe you have pretty good coverage overall. All right. They're constantly shielding. So this is really odd. They don't have a Registeel check is what I'm gathering here besides that Jellicent. All right. They're throwing more and more Psychic Fangs, trying to catch another Focus Blast. Unfortunately, not able to do it. And coming in with Drifblim. Good swap back over to the Giratina. Want to take out this Drifblim as soon as possible. Yeah, you're in a bad matchup here, but you just come in with the Registeel. Oh, I guess you come in with a Virizion. That's fine. This is probably the safer. This is probably just the easier play, just to, like, take it out. I was gonna say just soak up some of the energy on the Registeel, but there's really no need. There's nothing they can do to take out this Virizion. You've already seen the fact that they have Crunch and Psychic Fangs, so no point in shielding either way. All right, pretty good, pretty good. I liked how that one played out overall. Yeah, so Elo is 25-37, so pretty solid. This team overall looks very, very strong. There aren't a lot of core breakers, if I were to say. I think Trevenant is a core breaker, but you don't see a lot of Trevenant these days. Trevenant in the league, particularly. All right. The opponent, I can't tell if they're lagging, or maybe I just missed some confusions. I don't know. I might just miss some confusions. All right. This is fine. I like this play. I think you just go... The side tracks do add up a little bit. Oh, let a full confusion through. I wonder if Referral doesn't know about charge room optimization. Let's see how this next situation goes. Or not. Yeah, I don't think they do. So in this situation, you want to throw on every odd, right? 2 turn to 4 turn. You never want to throw whenever you have to move, because you let a full confusion go through. And that means that they get 3 free turns, right? You can't fully optimize 2 turn to 4 turn, but you at least only give up 1 turn rather than 3 turn. Like, they don't get to that side strike. They don't get to that final side strike if you optimize. But that being said, Referral might just not know about it, or maybe doesn't know every optimization situation. So I will link down below how to fully optimize in charge room scenarios in the description for this video, and for anyone else curious and watching. All right, this is a pretty good situation. Registeel is going to be very dominant. Again, right, the IVs on this is like a 98%, but, you know, even a bad IV, PvP IV Registeel is still a Registeel in Ultra League, and it is definitely something to watch out for. All right, no debuff is a little bit unfortunate, but definitely still in an okay scenario. I think you potentially, I just called a bait here. Okay, ends up being Psycho Boost. Yeah, you probably want to shield. Okay, not shielding the second one. Oh, ends up being a Thunderbolt. Wow, I did not expect that. All right, I thought it was going to be double Psycho Boost. But now the opponent's shielding. I probably just shield this because you have the move ready. And yeah, I like that a lot. They might try to sack. No, they don't. Did optimize the Leaf Blade, though. All right, and yeah, and then you can just... It doesn't really matter what happens here because you have the Registeel, but yeah, Dark Pulse is the correct move because Acid Spray just not enough. Whoa, timer's coming low. Is this going to be a potential loss? Oh my gosh, it was very close. Yeah, props to the opponent. The opponent definitely played that well given how bad of a lead and counter swap situation that was, but well played overall. Yeah, that was pretty solid. That was a huge no-shield call in that Thunderbolt, actually. I did not expect that. But good on them. But yeah, overall, this team weak to Trevenant. It's also very weak to Charizard lead. Charizard's kind of annoying, especially Shadow Charizard, because it hits quite hard, and you can't really swap out of it very cleanly, especially because you don't have the Stone Edge. So Leaf Blade definitely come in handy a couple times in these situations, so I will say that. All right. Does shield the potential Earthquake. I like that play. Catching on Giratina. So I think you just counter swap your own Giratina. Yeah. This is a very strong play, especially because they're debuffed. So there's just really no way for them to win out this match. And then now they come in. Yeah, you're just going to spam away with Dragon Claw, Shadow Claw. It's looking like it's going to be a pretty good situation. And yeah. Okay. Overfarming even. I like that. I would probably pivot out to the Registeel if you can. Might be able to. I don't know. I don't think I have a clear Registeel answer in the back. Okay, just going to stay in instead. That's fine too. It's just that the problem with Registeel is you still have to throw a full move at this. Okay, coming in Virizion. That's okay too. Icicle Spear does kind of add up though. So just something to watch out for. Alright. Force a Shield. That's okay. Oh, yeah, Venusaur. Okay, that's not too bad. This is a little awkward though. They're resisting all the moves, and these frenzy plants start adding up for sure. The debuff is going to help, but I think one Sludge Bomb should be able to KO the Virizion. Maybe if you get double debuff. Triple seems unlikely at this rate. Yeah, no, there's no way. No, I don't think you get to its triple. Yeah, they're going to get to 2 more Frenzy Plants beforehand. Oh, okay. Swapping over. Getting the Sacred Sword off. I think they still have a shield, right? Yeah, they do. Okay, that was good. That was a good play. If they shield that, you want to just take this out. This is not too bad. Because they have to throw the energy. They have to throw Sludge Bomb. They went Frenzy. Oh, wow. It was actually enough. I didn't think it would be. Oh, down to the wire, but a little unfortunate on that one. I think the play is potentially if you can pivot out. I think that was the last game right there. Let's see. Yeah, that was the last match. But yeah, I think the play is if you could pivot out with the against the wall rain. I think that would be the play. With the Giratina, right? So Giratina comes into Giratina. Let's see how much time is remaining before you can swap, right? So I would 1, 2, right? 3. I think you swap. So save the energy and then swap out to the Regisail. I think that's the play to save the Giratina so you have something to throw at that Venusaur. Because you have 2 things that beat the wall rain, right? And also staying in against that wall rain just gave them a bunch of energy, so they started spamming and forcing shields against the Verzion that came in later. But overall, still went 4-1. That set pretty good. I like the team though. I think the team is actually really solid, and it's a great team that a lot of people can build. I think, right? Like again, referral showing that you don't really need the IVs to be able to do well with it. But yeah, overall, really solid. I think a few things to note for referral is first and foremost, don't undercharge, right? When you don't have to. Like especially when the opponent switch timers up, right? If they're locked into a long matchup and you can undercharge and they can't get out before you get the full farm down you want to, that's fine, right? But just keep track of their switch timers, especially if it's misaligned with yours. The second thing is just work on optimized charge room timing if you can. I will drop my video down below in the description so that you could take a look and see kind of how to optimize a little bit. There are, I think, a few matches where if you optimize, the opponents wouldn't have gotten to a move, or you would have gotten to your own move a little bit sooner than they do. And then the third is something I noticed from like here or there is I think there's one matchup where after you threw a move with the Regisail, you swap to Giratina into an Obstagoon, right? In that situation, like if that's their best check for the Giratina, you just gave them the matchup they want, right? Even though if they go down a shield, like you can't really grab a shield back, right? With the Giratina, Shadow Claw Giratina of all things. So they don't have to spend another shield and they still maintain the alignment, right? So just think about like when you swap over, like what makes the most sense, right? Like if it's like more ABB where like you throw a focus blast like a Swampert, they shield or whatever, then you swap to Giratina, that's fine, right? Because you have a Rizzy on the back that takes care of it too. And then I think the last thing is maybe just looking at the movesets and see like what coverage you need really the most. I personally, again, would probably recommend going Stone Edge with this team composition. Obviously, the Leaf Blade did come in handy a couple times, but, you know, you're not terribly weak to Jellicent either way, so not having that Leaf Blade for it is not the end of the world. And again, you already have great matchups into Wall Rain and, you know, Swampert with that, without Leaf Blade, so you don't really need it additionally. But yeah, looking back on it, actually, now that I did the energy efficiency, Leaf Blade is probably the better move to throw at Wall Rain too. But anyway, that's something I learned new today on while making this video too. But shout out to Referral for sending me the footage. It was really cool to see, and again, really cool to see that IVs don't really matter as much as people think. And props to showing your IVs for your Pokemon to kind of help prove that point. If you would also like to get your battles critiqued by me, feel free to shoot me a DM at Peng on Twitter for any battles you have, preferably anything in the current meta. But if you have stuff from like open leagues and stuff, I might just throw it into when all the open league rotations are out. So if you have any and you're curious, send me 10 battles in a row and happy to provide some feedback. But anyway, if you like this video, feel free to give it a like and share, subscribe for future content, hit that notification bell to get alerted right when I post a new video, and I'll catch you all next time.